Lord. Why? It didn't pop up. What? You're not my friend. You're not my friend. You're not my friend. You're not my friend. Oh, I must still be on my main page. I am. I thought I switched over. Bu- Hey, family. Hey, family. Hi. Hi. You know, I'm going to talk about some people, right? Today is Men's Mental Health Monday. Do you know we got a lot of people that talks about certain things, right? And want to put, when I say that, I'm talking like, um, they want to help people build a better life mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, but they don't know how. They just talking a good game. And I'm going to use this basically for my prompt too. Please stop playing with me. Please stop. When it comes to people's lives, I keep telling y'all, I take people's lives personally. I am not caught up with the stuff that I used to do, and I gotta watch what I say because I'm strapped. TikTok too. If I sit here and I tell y'all, right, and this is the word I'm gonna use right now, deconstructing. Deconstructing. And this is a platform I was on when they was talking about deconstructing. And the guy asked them, and basically they talking about what we was taught religiously, which I got you. If I say I'm a Christian, and I hope you see this, Philippians 2nd chapter talks about emulating Christ's humility. He didn't say nothing about go out there, rob and steal and take from God's people or from people. Philippians 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 11, right? It talks about being, if you have gained a relationship with Christ, be like Christ. And if you understand he was loving, kind, considerate, and thoughtful, I'm no longer that rotten, no good, deceitful person I used to be. Did I make that clear? So you want to talk about deconstructing. Let me show you how. Men is Mental Health Monday. This is not what y'all was talking about. And it doesn't have to be based around organized religion or teaching. If you want to help somebody get free mentally, emotionally, and spiritually from some bull crap that was pulled down years after years after years, you got to understand you're going to leave them empty because you're getting rid of the old to put in the new. My 12-step spiritual program. None of y'all was talking about a recovery process for anybody. That's why I like listening to people, because you just do this. You just talk a real good goddamn game, but you don't have no solutions in what you're talking about. Sound like a lawmaker to me, and you don't even realize it. And guess what? I told them, family, I come from the streets. I started using 11. I started drinking 13. I started snorting at 14. I started pumping at 15. You could not tell me that was wrong. Now, see how enslaved and imprisoned my mind was? For 19 years, I practiced that behavior. I got more clean time than I do using time. Well, that don't mean nothing, right? But you want to talk about deconstructing. What is you deconstructing? Because once you remove something or you begin to practice on moving something out the way, you got to replace it with something in a more healthier way. That's not what y'all was talking about. So you know what I heard from a lot of them? Y'all are still a bunch of lying, no good, manipulating, motherfucking suckers. See, my goal when I started sharing about strengthening the community, we talking about the mindset as well. When I talk about the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope, we talking about the mindset as well. Helping people to change their old ways of thinking, their old ways of doing things, and helping, because I always say helping to change the quality of individuals and family lives. I had to get rid of my old ways of thinking, deconstructing. I had to get rid of the old habits, the old ways of doing stuff that I thought used to be the right way. But that's something that didn't happen just for the overnight. I was going to say for the day. That's why I listen to people and I'm like, wait a minute, I hear what you're saying and it sounds good, but where's the solution? You ain't got none. And if I sit here and say this, family, I don't want everybody to take it personal, but we are some of the lying, manipulating, no good people that you ever really want to meet ourselves. But then we'll turn around and say the vibe, man. This world is not just full of black and white people. Do y'all realize that? So why we keep thinking it's just the white and black, the white and black? Why? And then we know I speak English. I speak English. I don't speak a Chinese. I don't speak a Muslim. Alaikum shalom. That's not my language. That's my brother's language now. I speak English. So what I start understanding, right? We're not the only goddamn race of people. Oh, God only created black and white man. Listen to how I sound. Lord God only created the black and white. We're still stuck. I'm listening to these people, Baltimore City. And the only person I could think of listening to y'all, and I'm getting ready to call y'all suckers, because I don't like when we play with each other. I don't like it. I'm listening to these people, right? And the only person I can think of was Dr. Joy, the one that wrote the book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. They was talking about, we already know it's a mental condition. And when I say that, it's like what you put in you, right? Unhealthy information. I'm breaking it down to you. Can y'all see that behind me? It said Men's Mental Health Monday. I know y'all can't see it over here, so I'm just talking. Men's Mental Health Monday. and spiritual well-being is to grow. It's to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, to grow. So guess what? I can only tell y'all from my experience, this one man, right, that was on that panel, he told some other grown men that it's like going back to school to get educated. Watch where I go. He was talking to him about going back to school to get educated, to learn certain things about disconnecting. But he's saying going back to school. I'm sharing my personal experience. You can't rely on your personal experience. You see how people play you? You mean to tell me I started at 14? That's personal. I put it in me. At 15 years old, I was doing speedball. That's personal. I didn't get clean till 30. I don't do it no more. So I have experienced that, right? What textbook going to tell me? Huh? I hope you looking, bro. Because sometimes we can say stuff out of our mouth and don't realize how dumb we are. And for TikTok's sake, I got it back up. Men's Mental Health Monday. And the reason why I do this, family, and I tell people this, y'all don't understand. I'm a recovering addict. The stuff that I believe in religiously that was taught when I was in Browns Memorial Baptist Church. Religiously, this is the way a lot of us grew up, being Baptists and all of that, the different kind. And some people kind of move away from the traditional side of it. That's all. Religiously, the doctrines, we understand what to do, how to live, but we tend to move away from that because now we're growing spiritually. No, you're not. You're still being controlled. I am. Huh? I am. I can tell you this. I don't carry no pew-pews today. I'm still being controlled. I ain't walking around with no pokers today because I had no problem in using the morning. Watch what you say out your mouth. I ain't walking around with no walking tall stick because I had a hatchet stick. I had the hatchet on the top. I had the stick. And I had no problem beating you with it. I don't care it today. So guess what, family? I like saying this and I like being sarcastic too. I've been redeemed. I've been delivered. It took a long, long time, but I just don't live that life anymore. It's other ways and means of doing things in life. Did y'all know that? And every time I run up at my mouth, check this out. Little Steve Copeland Jr. I'm so proud of you. Sienna Copeland. I'm so proud of you. Tashir Anderson. I'm so proud of you. Lakaya Austin. I'm so proud of you. Sheena Copeland. I'm so proud of you. Why you say that, Steve Copeland? Because they never did what we did. with the drugs and the alcohol. Thank God, a day at a time. Cherie Copeland, Derek Copeland, Ebony Copeland, they are my nieces and nephews. I thank God y'all did not grow up doing the things that we did. And y'all talking about deconstruction, deconstructing, because of the way we lived. We had to show them something totally different so they wouldn't repeat those habits. Let's talk about deconstructing. So you live in this way and you talk in that way, but then your walk, and this is what a guy came up and said, right? A guy came up and told them, he said, he was like, well, what is y'all doing to fill in that gap? It was like nothing. We just trying to get people not to continue believing in the religious doctrine and stuff like that. What is you going to, what is it? It leaves an individual empty. They got to have something to believe in if it's no more than themselves. None of y'all was saying that. I said, listen to these people. And then you wonder why people out there committing crimes and doing the things they're doing. It goes to show me y'all are detached. Y'all are detached from life. Men's Mental Health Monday. I always ask them to write me a 5-phase process, right? And it's always about healing family. I didn't say write something. I'm talking about to ChatGPT. I didn't ask ChatGPT to write anything to help people stay in their destructive behaviors or mental, emotional, unhealthy lifestyle. That's not how Unc roll. All right? That's not how I roll. Now, if you was in the church and you left that church, whatever issues you got with that church, that's your issue. Everybody don't have those. They just don't talk about it. But look, 5 steps, a 5-step spiritual journey to becoming a better man. Okay? I can tell you for myself. Connect with God daily. Number 1. Renew your mind. That's what you're saying when you're talking about deconstructing the mind, right? It's renewing the mind. Live with purpose. So now that you renew your mind, you got to put some healthy information on that old bull crap that you was once believing in. That's the process. Build strong brotherhoods. That was number 4. Number 5, check it out. Serve others faithfully. And you know what my sponsor, when I first came around, he said, Steve, get to know yourself. There's something special about you. Because the thing is, family, in order for me to keep what I have, once I know who I am inside, I'm only going to give it back. Serve others faithfully. What did I just say? True spiritual health is shown in how you love, help, and serve others. You do not want to talk with me. If you talk a real good game, understand I'm saying this, but you talking good, you talking with like you're very educated, smart, intelligent, things like that. And I hear you, but then when I hear you say that you want to do certain things or you're doing certain things to empower, to inspire, to motivate. Listen to the words I'm saying. Listen to the words I'm saying. Listen to the words I'm saying. To empower, to motivate, to encourage other people. I didn't say keep them in a chaotic, in a confusion state, did I? No, because that's where they're already at. The goal is to move them away from it. A lot of you don't know how to do it, but you talk a good game. Then I got you. My thing is, who the one that needs our help the most? Be honest. My family don't need my help like most people in the inner city do, because I'm watching them. They living a great life. Those are not the ones I'm focusing on now. It's the people that's in the streets that don't understand you can become a productive member of society. So who we talking about? So my brothers and kings, right? I had to get to know Steve Copeland. I had to get to know this rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit. And I had to understand that no matter what, I'm the same individual. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. But there's a negative side to me. I can't deny that side. I get jealous. I hurt. I get lonely. This is what makes up the human being. My feelings and emotions. I recognize them. Do you? I'm a loving, kind, considerate, warm man. Ooh. Why should I be warm? Why should I be sensitive? And I am a man. Yup. I'm a crybaby too. Anybody that knows me, family, know I cry like crazy. But guess what? I'm still a man. You know how I know I'm a man? My clitoris is not in there. It's like, let me stop. I hold that sucker like that. Some women probably could do it, but I ain't gonna. Okay, I'm being sarcastic now. I'm being funny. I want y'all miserable people to laugh a little bit, because we'll turn around. We hear a person, right, making jokes and playing and all that type of stuff, and we don't loosen up. A guy told me on that platform that, mind y'all, I'm playing. He told me I play too much. They serious. I'm like, what you think I am when they really come to helping the people? Because they don't know me. And then they turn around, guess what they say, family? You talking about you. You talking about you. I said, who else am I going to talk about? You talking about you. You talking about you. Me, you making everything about you. Who else am I going to talk about? You know why they said that? Because they over there talking about David. They telling David's story. They over there talking about Malachi's story. I hear everything you saying. You talking about their story. You're gossiping. You're gossiping. Do you know if their story's true or not? So you sitting up here talking about stuff you never experienced for yourself. But then you're going to get mad with me and tell me he talking about himself. Who else am I going to talk about? I know me. The good side and the bad side. The problem with me, I'm a snitch. You know, I had to recognize that one day, Baltimore, I'm a snitch. I'll tell on my damn self. And I'm going to tell a detective. You ain't got to come and try to interrogate Steve Copeland. Because I will tell you the truth right to your goddamn face. And guess what? In your mind and the way they taught you, oh, he lying. I own up to my mistakes. That's why I talk about life. I was taught by others that been in that state. Great men and women that we call predecessors. I got 33 and a half years clean. January the 26th will be 34. I never, family. And yeah, I'm getting loud because I'm passionate. I never thought I would get clean and stay clean. And then we want to sit back, right? And you want to down somebody like that. That goes to show me you have not experienced what that individual is going through. Shut the freak up when somebody telling you about themselves. And you haven't been there. Because you only going to come back with your opinion, what you think, how you feel, and be honest with you, makes me want to lose another toe right up in your boat. Oh. And he's a deacon. Hallelujah. And I got ordained deacon back in 2029. 2009. He's supposed to be perfect. That's not what it said. And this lady, right? This one lady that was on there, she was in the ministry. And she running off at her mouth. I said, well, what is a deacon position? Brothers. Now, mind you, I don't know these women. The ones that felt like they needed to question Big Steve. I said, what is a deacon? You used to be a minister. Well, what is a deacon? Now, mind you, in the beginning, yes, I was doing the work of the church inside the building. Doing tithing and offering and whatever help or services need to be done around it. Excuse me, family. You want me to pull up the scripture? I said, well, why did the disciples call? She used to be a minister. I said, why did the disciples call the 7 deacons together? She couldn't answer. The disciples in Christ was doing what? Going through the city, ministering to the people, teaching the people. So they didn't have enough time to actually help them, like the ones that was homeless and less fortunate, the ones that need housing, the ones that need, I'm going to say, encouragement, mental health, stuff like that. They didn't have time to do that. Come on, minister. That's why they called the 7, to go back into the community, to help feed, to help house, to help clothe the individuals. And this is what I told them. Not only that, I'm a community activist. I'm a human rights advocate. I'm a community organizer. So everything I'm saying is building back up in the community, right? Strengthen the community. This is my LLC. Building back up in the community, right? The Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. Helping people turn their lives around. It's a temporary to permanent housing program. Building back up in the community, right? Stephen Copeland Jr., Multi-Purpose Center for Inner City Youth. That's one of my pages. To open up a multi-purpose center to put music, art, theater there. We know the issues with our kids. They don't have a lot of stuff to do to embrace their talents. Building back up in the community. Why, when I open up my mouth to say stuff like this, to let y'all know this is a calling on my life, for me to go back, encourage, and empower God's lost generation of people. Those are the ones that need our help the most, right? My wife and I, when we was together, we did not have to rely on food stamps. We didn't have to rely on medical assistance because my insurance from my company paid for that. This is the type of stuff we got to help people understand when you're moving away from a regular type job to a career-minded job. And then you're going to sit back and say this too. College may not be for everybody, but people go to college for a particular reason. Most of them to get letters behind their names. And it's not to say you can't do it in apprenticeship programs, because I became a tractor trailer driver. Professional. So I know the difference between a professional job and a regular job. I know it. Okay? And that's why, family, not being smart. Because of me coming out of school in the 10th grade with a 9th grade education, going into trucking at 21, even though I was getting high, I would work a little bit, stop, work a little bit, stop, work a little bit, stop. And when I turned 30 and I yelled out, God, please help me, that meant I had to get back on the road again. I'm talking about as far as my life in general. Because now I don't have nothing to hinder me and hold me back. You get me? So now I'm standing more on those values, morals, and principles that Barbara Jean taught me as a child. Matter of fact, let me make it real simple. The difference between right and wrong. She taught me morals, values, spiritual principles, the quality of life, respect for myself, and I went against them all. I said I went against them, not Barbara Jean. She laid down the roadmap, right? I was the one that made the decision to turn left a little bit. I'm the one that made the decision to go left. I'm the one that made the decision to go left. And the reason why I'm saying it, because I'm thinking about the weed, right? I'm thinking about and then I'm thinking about, that's why I keep saying go left, go left, go left. But I had to turn right again. Look at my hand now. Look, I'm steady going left. I'm going left. I'm following this side. Bring your butt back over here. Sit calm down. Steve Copeland. That's how I had to start treating myself. No, you can't do this. Look at this right here. Y'all see this? This might look crazy to other people, right? I find this real attractive. To me. And then I like the necklaces and stuff like that. Y'all know me. To me, I'm like, I like hooking it up. And then when I get that feeling inside, bam. I'm like, yeah, you can't tell me nothing. Look at my little cat. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And see, I do this right here because I don't want none of y'all to say nothing smart. Why you got that winter hat on in the summer? Because I know y'all gonna say it, probably saying it then. Why you got that winter hat on the summer? Now look, y'all see how I took this right here? Watch this, Baltimore. Damn, you can't tell me I ain't a handsome goddamn man. I apologize. You can tell me I'm not a handsome man, but I'm going to tell myself, Steve, you're a good-looking goddamn black man, bro. I know. You know why I'm saying that, family? Because my self-esteem is not in the gutter like it used to be. And if you say anything different, that goes to show yours are still in the gutter. I heard a man one time, right, in the meeting say this. My self-esteem he was talking about himself though. But he was talking about how his self-esteem was as low as an ant. I said, Dad, that's low. As an ant? And he had to build back up on his self-esteem. Courage, confidence. None of y'all was over there talking like that. But y'all talking about breaking. I'm going to say that cycle. But you're not trying to teach people what to put in place of it. Religiously. If I say I love Jesus Christ, be honest with y'all. Now, and I understand sometimes we get caught up into the color. Don't care if we black or white. Once I read about the character, and once I read about the personality in Philippians, the 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 11, emulating Christ's humility, that was it right there. Because I realized I can be a rotten. Y'all want to talk about Satan? Look in the mirror. I'm looking at myself I'm looking at myself. Y'all want to talk about evil? I'm looking at myself. Remember I said I used to be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit? So when we look at evil, you can't see your character. You portray a lot of that. So you got two options. It's like either you could live the righteous way of life, the right way, right? You can live the right way, or you can live the wrong way. I live the right way. Number one, I don't like prison. First time I ever been locked up, I was 61 years old. I had a prison commitment for almost 10 years, family, back in the 90s. And all of a sudden, I'm in prison. Now, why am I going to, that's me, going to do some stuff, right? When I'm encouraging guys and going in and talking with them about when you come home, putting your life together and stuff like that, right? And letting them know, if you need to reach out to me so we can guide you in the proper way. That's what Marlo do. I work mainly with the women and the children. And I share this with y'all. It's like it never resonates with a lot of y'all. So we all had to get our lives together in order to go back and help others. That's how I know a lot of people, mainly on TikTok, you ain't doing jack nothing but talking. And don't get mad at Big Unc when Big Unc come and I tell you about Baltimore City. Don't get mad, because you got somebody that's actually walking in the footsteps of some great leaders. I got ordained deacon. I'm a civil rights advocate. God told me you walking in the footsteps of two great men. I'm sitting in Annapolis in the House of Delegate building, get ready to go out there and speak on the 15 hours minimum wage. God said you walking in the footsteps of two great men. Martin Luther King was one, and Jesus Christ was the other. This is what the Holy Spirit said. You know how honored I was? Now, mind you, I'm a civil rights advocate. I'm fighting for the democracy of the people. Martin Luther King was a reverend, right? I'm an ordained deacon. So it's ministry for people like us You fighting for the people's civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. I had to get with other organizations that does that. I can't do it by myself. So I became a member of some Communities United. Well, hey, Jackie. And if I ask y'all, do y'all know Communities United? You'll say no. That's the Baltimore branch of the Center for Popular Democracy. There was some Democrats back in the 70s created that program, that organization. I have to read up on them to actually understand why I'm doing what I do. Y'all don't. You don't do your research. So as a result of that, Communities United of Baltimore, Maryland is the branch for Baltimore City. The goal is to fight for the democracy of the people in the Black community. That's why when y'all see me on TV and stuff like that, we fought to get the $15 minimum wage passed and we got it passed. We fought to get the safe consumption sites here in Baltimore City where people can go and use, and if their stuff is laced with that ethanol, they can bring them back. See, sometimes you got to sit down and talk with people to find out what they're doing and why. It was the politicians that didn't want these things to help save lives. It wasn't me. It was the system. We fought to get the spy plane here. The whole point of fighting to get that plane here was to reduce the unalive rate in Baltimore City. They fought against us with that. 343 unalives, 2017, it ended that year. A new BMore City is a grieving page that I have created. It's still up to date. Running. I started a page too for men of integrity. Baltimore's men of integrity. It was a private page for just men. I opened it up to the public. Lavelle Copeland, 59, is a spiritual page of mine I created on Facebook. Look it up. I'm there. Stevie Copeland, 59. It's another page I created. Oh, yeah, he talking about him. Oh, no, let me do this. Stephen in the Bible. That Deacon Stephen in the Bible. We share the same name, but I'm going to talk about Deacon Stephen in the Bible. A man of one wife. I had one wife. It got to the point I started stepping out, so my story became a David story. Because David had, you had 2 wives and 8 women on the side. David had 8 women. David was married to 8 women. What's the difference? I had 2, he had 8. And I had some concubines on the side. You don't see the similarity? No, because David had 8. Well, I had more women on the side than David. I was a male, smack them, down, bang, 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 bang. That's what David's story reminded me. That's a fiction. Look, y'all, please forgive me, because y'all know I like throwing humor in stuff. Because when I looked at David's story, I was like, oh my God, if that don't remind me of me. 2 wives. This is what I was taught. It's a poor rat. Let me step back. Poor rat that had one hole to run in and out of. So you had your wife at home and you had other women on the side. That's what I was taught. which was poor information. That was bad information. So when Steve came, I had to teach Steve something different. That's why I thank God. That's why y'all don't listen. I kept telling them that too. I said, y'all don't listen to nothing. And then you're going to turn around and change my story to fit you. When you come back to say something to me, stop. That's my story. That's my story. How you going to take my experience? And then I'm talking about something I experienced. Not that I'm doing it now. I've been through it. Boop, boop. I made the mistake. I corrected the mistake and I moved. That's why y'all got to listen. Please listen. Listen closely. I feel lit right now, family. I got up about 7 o'clock. I went on What's Your Name's platform till about 12, I think, or 1. And I left them. I told them thanks and everything, blah, blah, blah. Because I try not to knock people for where they at, what you think, how you feel. I can only talk about Steve, family. And I'll tell y'all that about 1,000 times. And it's like, it does not sink in. I sit here and listen to y'all talk about, yeah, because you remember when Isaiah said this? No, I read Isaiah and I know what Isaiah said. I know what Isaiah was called to do. Do you know what you was called to do? I know the Old Testament. That's the first covenant and how God dealt with them during that time. We're in the new covenant. How he deals with us through Christ this time. What's up, Unc? And let me tell you this. If you cannot exactly explain stuff to people, shut the freak up. Anytime I talk about my using days, anytime I talk about stepping outside my marriage, anytime I'm talking about mistakes in life. Do you realize I'm giving y'all my Old Testament? My old testimony? When I say this is what I used to do, don't we read this in the Old Testament? It's the Old Testament. Look up the word testament. It's like you giving your testimony. So I'm sharing with you the old person, and then I'm sharing with you the new man. I'm giving you my Old Testament and my New Testament, and it doesn't sink in. I remember living like that. I remember practicing this type of behavior. You could not tell me that was wrong. It was wrong. But you could not tell me because it didn't seem like it was wrong. I made it right. I justified it, rationalized it. Well, see, this is what, and I hear people do it too. Well, see, I was trying to make wrong right. And that's what a lot of y'all do and don't realize you're doing it. But see, people like me and Unc that used to live that way of life, we spot you straight out. Suckers. Now, come on, David. David said, look, Dr. David be like, Steve, please say sucker, please. I said, no, David, no. But listen, family, this is how we talk in the NA meetings. And I'm going to share this too. When I'm around men, because this men's Monday mental health. When I'm around men, when I'm with men, right, it can be 20, 30, 10, 5, 100. And I hear them talking our surface stuff. The moment I open up my mouth to help them be honest with themselves, I will go back and share some real personal stuff. Do you know that breaks that cycle? I will go back and talk about me having thoughts, right? When I was drinking and stuff like that. I used to have dreams of an 18-month-old baby being choked on the penis. So I would run to the bathroom and throw up. I shared it with the guys. And what that does for a lot of y'all that don't understand, it breaks that cycle. It breaks the ice. Because somebody was able to go in and talk about when I was younger, this happened to me or that might have happened to me. But I accept the fact that there's a good chance that I was molested. And do y'all realize when I say stuff like that, most men will start being honest about themselves? The women is no problem. It's the men. That's why I do men mental health Monday. I'm going to do this again. We'll go back to number 5 on here. Serve others faithfully. My first sponsor that sponsored me for 5 years, he ended up passing away. But he told me my first year, Steve, get to know yourself. Because it's something about you. Basically what he was saying, get to know yourself so you can go back and help others. What did number 5 says? Number 4, it talks about building strong brotherhood. No matter what, brothers, I try to keep life real. Okay? I can lie to everybody else, brothers, but I can't lie to Steve Copeland. And that's what I realized. I can tell you the biggest lie in the world, and then all of a sudden my conscience is out of whack because I didn't be truthful. That's how I recognize when I'm doing wrong. Okay? It's that gut thing. My conscience. I call it my conscience. Stop hating on people. Stop hating on people. Because you'll turn around and whatever your trauma was or whatever stuff you dealt with the church. People, which 9 times out of 10 was grandpa, your dad, your mother, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, and they was a deacon. They was a minister. They was a pastor. They was human. You the one put them in the category they shouldn't have been. Even though they tried to make themselves seem like we don't make mistakes. Build strong brotherhood. Surround yourself with godly men and encourage, challenge, and hold you accountable. I'm my brother's keeper. Live with purpose. I'm going back up the line now. Walk in your God-given purpose and use your gifts to make a positive impact. Look at the stuff I used to do before I yelled out. I was putting a lot of poison. My family was real simple. Putting poison into the community. I'm the one had to stop doing what I was doing with the family and get away because I was trying to do my own personal beat the big guy. Renew your mind. See, whenever you have platforms and you want to talk about certain topics, talk about the topic. Men's mental health and spiritual well-being. So if you're dealing with somebody on a mental basis, you're talking about balancing out their feelings and emotions and stuff like that to help them live more in a healthier way rather than a destructive way. Now, mind you, but I'm over here mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I already know what it looks like right there. I already know. So why am I going to keep going back this way? And if you watch me, you notice I don't normally turn this way. Because it takes me back too much what I used to do. So most of the time you see me, I'm like this. And I'll cross my legs like this. That's my past. That's my past. This my now. That's my history. His story. And I'm going to tell y'all this. That thing might not click in with you. His story. We reading other people's stories. When I was doing my research on Ancestry.com, right, I was digging back in history. But I had to follow the stories to know the connection. So many bright, intelligent people, and I think you miss it. So I went as far back as the 1600s. They wasn't all black. My great grandfather, great grandfather, father was a white man. But I'm going to sit up here and bash white people. I don't know if my grandmother gave it up. I mean, I don't know if she did it normally, naturally, or it was taken. But as a result of that, who y'all looking at today? No matter what happened, I'm here. And yes, you get angry. We got guys taking advantage of children today. Y'all back in his story. We got fathers that's violating their daughters. We got mothers that's violating their sons. We got grandfathers. We got uncles. We got 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, young kids being violated. But then we'll go back and talk about his story. And it's happening right now to this day. But we so lost. It's breaking the stuff today. Slowing a lot of it down. We're not going to stop it. We can slow it down. I love y'all. It's almost an hour from what I'm looking at my time. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, family. I love y'all and I'm out. BMore City.